This is not just a bridge, this is the story of a nation. Between its chains lie lost dreams, incredible urban legends, political decisions carved in stone, and heartbreaking fates. István Széchenyi fought for decades to build the chain bridge after his father's death, but he never got to walk across it. And when it was finally completed, the first person to step on it was not a Hungarian hero, but an Austrian executioner. This video is not about the chain bridge. It is about the Hungarian nation. Watch until the end to understand why. First point, an inheritance born from grief, the frozen river that changed everything. In the early 19th century, Hungary did not have a single permanent bridge over the Danube. If someone wanted to get from Pest to Buda, or the other way around, they had to cross by ferry or pontoon bridge. In winter, when the river froze, or when there was ice flooding, people could be cut off from each other for days or even weeks. Traffic simply stopped. It is hard to imagine today, but that was the reality back then. In the winter of 1820, István Széchenyi was about to leave for Vienna for his father's funeral. But when he reached the banks of the Danube, he found the river frozen. Because of the ice, he could not cross from Pest to Buda for days, and he missed the funeral. This moment deeply affected him, but instead of raging or crying, he made a decision. Right there, on the frozen banks of the Danube, he vowed to build a permanent bridge between Pest and Buda, a bridge that no weather could ever stop, a bridge that would forever connect what nature had separated. Of course, Széchenyi was not only thinking about himself, he knew that a modern country could not function without a permanent connection. The Danube did not just separate two cities, it separated the economy, culture, and future of an entire country. If Hungary wanted to move forward, the two banks had to be joined. So the idea of the chain bridge was born when a grieving man was stopped by the Danube from saying goodbye to his father. And this was also the first step in making Budapest a true European capital. But not everyone was happy with the idea. When the thought of building the bridge first came up, many people said, "Why do we need a bridge? The Danube is not even that wide." Others were afraid that there would be tolls on the bridge and that everyone would have to pay, even the nobles who had been exempt until then. The project dragged on for a long time. But to finally make progress, the Bridge Association was founded in 1832. The goal was to finalize the bridge's plans and gather the money for construction. The project eventually took the form of a joint stock company, and investors hoped they would recover their money from the tolls collected on the bridge. Interesting fact, the law even stated that no other bridge could be built within 1 mile of the chain bridge for 87 years. This was meant to make sure the chain bridge would not lose its traffic and profits. Second point, Clark, and Szechenyi. Blood, sweat, and iron chains. Building the chain bridge required international expertise. The design was entrusted to a respected English engineer, William Tierney Clark. This was no coincidence. He had also designed the Hammersmith Bridge in London, one of the world's first modern suspension bridges. The construction was led by another Clark, Adam Clark. He was a young Scottish engineer sent to Hungary by his employer. The shared last name was just a coincidence, but fate brought them together. William provided the plans and instructions, while Adam worked on the banks of the Danube with his hands, his team, and great determination. Their combined efforts created what we now know as the chain bridge, which connects not only the two riverbanks, but also the past and future of the entire Hungarian nation. The construction officially started in 1840, but the first shovels hit the ground only in 1842. The work took 7 years and was far from smooth. The Buda bridgehead was located right at the foot of Castle Hill. This posed a problem. How could traffic continue with a mountain blocking the way? The solution was to dig through the hill. This led to the creation of the Buda Tunnel in 1857, Hungary's first road tunnel. A popular urban legend claimed that the tunnel was built so the bridge could be pushed under the hill when it rained. But it wasn't all laughter. In the summer of 1848, when the bridge was nearly complete, the workers were about to lift the final chain links into place. The massive iron structure was being hoisted with pulleys when one of the chains suddenly snapped. The multi-ton structure collapsed, destroying a temporary work bridge, sending several workers into the Danube, and killing one of them. István Széchenyi himself was at the site. watching from a small boat. He also fell into the water but managed to swim safely to shore. This incident showed how dangerous such large-scale construction was in the 19th century. There were no safety measures, no modern machines. Only ropes, muscle power, and sometimes sheer luck. The chain bridge was truly built with blood, sweat, and lives. And this accident is a lasting reminder that history is not only made of beautiful moments. Third point, opening in mourning, without Szechenyi, a dream fulfilled but without joy. On November 20th, 1849, the chain bridge was completed. It was the country's first permanent bridge over the Danube. A dream had come true, but no one celebrated. Why? Hungary was still suffering from the trauma of the crushed War of Independence. Barely 6 weeks earlier, the Arad martyrs had been executed. The repression was brutal, and the nation was in mourning. The chain bridge was not greeted with crowds and tears of joy, but with silence and fear. And the man without whom none of this could have happened, István Széchenyi, could not be there. In the autumn of 1848, Széchenyi had a nervous breakdown. In the chaos of the revolution and war, he was gradually pushed out of politics. Although he believed in moderate reforms, events swept the course of history past him. Seeing the country rushing toward destruction while he felt powerless, he broke down mentally and physically. In September 1848, at his own request, he was taken from Vienna to the Dublin mental asylum. He never fully returned to public life again. He spent the last years of his life quietly and withdrawn in Dublin. He died on April 8, 1860, under circumstances that remain unclear. Some say he took his own life, while others believe it was an accident. He had once closely followed every step of the bridge's construction. He was there from the earliest plans, present at the cornerstone laying, offering advice and helping with decisions. But by the time the bridge was finished, he was no longer in control of his own mind. He never saw the bridge in its full glory, the bridge he had fought for all his life, and he never walked across it. And who was the first person to do so? Julius Haynau, the Austrian general whom the people called the Hyena of Brescia. He had led the crushing of the War of Independence and ordered the execution of the Arad martyrs. And now he was the first to walk across the bridge. This moment was almost symbolic. A bridge meant to represent freedom, connection, and progress was first crossed by an oppressive general. History is not always fair. Sometimes those who reap the rewards are the ones who never sowed anything. But the bridge stands, and it will forever remind us of the greatest Hungarian, István Széchenyi. Fourth point, the Bridge of Legends. The lion's tongue that no one can see but everyone talks about. The chain bridge is not only an engineering marvel and a historical milestone, but also a symbol of Budapest full of legends. Its most famous symbols, the stone lions, were placed at each end of the bridge in 1850. The monumental statues were carved by János Marsalko and amazed the capital at the time. Creating such large and detailed stone sculptures was a real feat with the technology of the era. But as soon as they were in place, a strange story spread. People in Pest began to whisper that the lions had no tongues. According to legend, when a small child pointed this out mockingly, the embarrassed sculptor threw himself into the Danube in shame. Of course, this is not true. János Marsalko did not jump into the river, and the lions do indeed have tongues. The detail is there, but they sit so high up that it cannot be seen from the street level. Still, this small misunderstanding became so popular that many people today still mention it first when they talk about the chain bridge. This shows that the bridge is not just made of stones, iron, and chains. It is also made of stories that we tell again and again, even if they never really happened. Fifth point, the revolution that started with blood, the gunfire that shook the country. In the autumn of 1918, Hungary was restless. World War I was coming to an end. And with the news from the front lines, hunger, inflation, and political uncertainty, more and more people demanded change. On Monday, October 28th, thousands of people marched through Budapest. The protesters demanded the resignation of the Hadik government and the appointment of Mihály Károlyi, a pacifist politician against the war, as prime minister. The march went across the chain bridge toward the Buda castle, where the seat of political power was. The leaders of the protests tried to negotiate, but it was unsuccessful. Tensions rose quickly, and eventually the authorities opened fire on the crowd. At least 2 people were killed, and around 70 were wounded in the shooting. Blood on the bridge marked the next turning point in history. The incident caused enormous outrage, and just a few days later, on October 31st, the Astor Revolution broke out. This made the chain bridge not only a landmark of the city, but also a key location in history, where people marched for freedom, gunfire erupted, and this day marked an important, though tragic, beginning for Hungarian democracy. Sixth point: bombs, ruins, rebirth, bringing a destroyed bridge back to life. The chain bridge survived revolutions and occupations, but sadly, it did not survive World War II. In January 1945, when the German army retreated from Budapest, they blew up the bridge. The goal was to stop Soviet troops from crossing the Danube. The chains, the pillars, and the entire structure of the bridge collapsed into the river. Only the two massive bridgeheads remained. They stood silently on the banks of the Danube, as if they too were mourning the destroyed bridge and the suffering city. This was one of the darkest times in Budapest's history. But the story of the bridge did not end there. After the war, everything had to be rebuilt from the ruins, and Hungarians did not let the memory of the chain bridge disappear. Exactly 100 years after its first opening, in 1949, it was rebuilt based on the original plans. This version was slightly more modern. The old toll houses were demolished, the underpasses were expanded, and the traffic for pedestrians and trams was redesigned. But the bridge's silhouette, proportions, and spirit remained as beautiful as ever. It became the bridge that Szechenyi and Clark had dreamed of, only now it was reborn from the ruins. This bridge has survived the storms of history more than once because it is not only made of iron and stone, but also of faith and perseverance. Seventh point: the newest chapter, light, quiet, and pedestrians. More than 170 years later, the chain bridge remains one of Budapest's most defining symbols. But between 2021 and 2023, a new chapter began in its story. The bridge underwent a complete renovation once again. During the work, the steel structure was reinforced, the roadway was replaced, and the decorative lighting was modernized. The goal was not only to preserve the condition of the bridge, but also to make the city more livable. Private cars were banned from the bridge, and now only pedestrians, cyclists, taxis, and buses are allowed to cross. This transformed the once crowded and noisy crossing into a calm, inviting community space. There are 1,180 energy-saving LED lights on the bridge that could shine in any color. Though for tradition and dignity, they mostly illuminate the bridge with a soft, warm white glow. The modern system is not only energy efficient, but also able to change colors for special occasions. During holidays or commemorations, the chain bridge now sends light messages to the city. The bridge, therefore, not only preserves the past, but also builds the future. It connects not just riverbanks, but also people and generations. The chain bridge is not just a bridge, but a symbol, a nation's dream, pain, strength, and hope. It carries us from one shore of history to the other, reminding us that behind every stone lie human lives and dreams. And although István Széchenyi could never walk across it, today he would surely look on with pride, seeing that the bridge he fought for all his life still connects the heart of Hungary. By the way, did you know that 40 kilos of gold were used in the construction of the Hungarian Parliament building, and that the architect never saw the completed building? If you like stories like this, watch our video about the most beautiful parliament building in the world.